Hello, my name is Jim,
And I'm Debbie.
and we are trail ambassadors with the Friends of the Wissahickon. Today, we're going to take a short hike south on the Orange Trail from Lindsey House, also known as Glenfern, to the Fingerspan Bridge. Now, one thing I'd like to point out is the historical value of the Lindsey House, also again known as Glenfern. A man named Thomas Lindsey lived here in the 1700s. He was the owner of a large grist mill, which is a mill used for grinding up grains into flour. He was also a farmer. He was a justice of the peace, and this was his homestead. In addition to the main house here, he had an ice house, a smokehouse, a barn, lots of gardens. He was a very successful businessman. So the Fairmount Park owns this building, and today it is leased to a private citizen.
It's not a museum.
That's correct. So the house here is next to the Wissahickon Creek. We can go take a look at the dam that's right here. This dam was used to provide the power to run the mill.
It's hard to believe that this beautiful Wissahickon was once a big industrial area. In fact, it was one of the biggest industrial areas in colonial America. And it was populated by over 50 water mills along the course of the Wissahickon. The reason we have this dam here is that you had to ensure that there was always enough water to run the water wheel, even in times of drought.
This is the site of the mill at the Lindsey homestead. The mill actually was built by a man named Shoemaker in 1746. Thomas Lindsey purchased the mill from him in 1747. Again, this was a grist mill where they would take grains and grind them up into flour. And this was a very large mill for the colonies and very successful.
Now we're going to start walking south on the Orange Trail to the Fingerspan Bridge.
Wow, sure is a cool bridge.
Now this bridge was built by FOW volunteers in 2018.
You did a nice job.
There are a lot of great rocks in the Wissahickon, and you can learn a lot about geology. The Wissahickon is mainly metamorphic rock and igneous rock, and one of the most common metamorphic rocks we see is Wissahickon schist. Wissahickon schist is often mica schist, meaning it has many little pieces of mica in it, and mica is very shiny. Look at this, isn't this beautiful? Can you see it? Another type of rock we see in the Wissahickon is igneous rock, and here's an example of this. This is pegmatite. Pegmatite is a form of granite, and it has large crystals. And the way this would have gotten here, there would have been fractures in the Wissahickon schist, and then the hot igneous rock would have traveled in between and then hardened.
Well, here we are. We're at the bottom of the steps that lead up to the Fingerspan Bridge. So come join us.
This is the Fingerspan Bridge, and the artist is Jody Pinto. It was commissioned by the Alliance for Public Art. They have a program called Form and Function, and what they try to do is have art that's integrated into community life and that also has a function. Jody Pinto said, "When I think of a bridge, I think of a reaching, a touching, a connection." So this bridge signifies a connection of the human body to nature. The bridge that used to be here was steep and narrow, so that when you were on it, you had to pay attention and you couldn't take in your surroundings. Jody Pinto thought that this area of the Wissahickon was one of the most beautiful, and she wanted you to be able to see everything. So this is made of perforated Corten steel. If you look at it, there are little circular perforations in it. So because of all the perforations, you can see the creek, you can see the sky, you can see the trees, and you can see the gorge. She made it out of Corten steel because that has the property that when water hits it, the rain, it forms a coating and becomes a deep brown. And she wanted the deep brown to blend into nature. Jody Pinto wanted this to be a living bridge. And she said, as we walk through the bridge, we become the muscle of the finger. And if you look at the bridge, it has 2 knuckles and a fingernail.
Debbie, I have a question. How did they get this bridge here?
Well, they used a helicopter and they made 6 trips going from Purcell Field on Henry Avenue to bring it over here where workers attached it.
So thank you for coming on our hike with us today. Debbie and I love the Wissahickon, and we're here several times a week hiking. There's over 50 miles of trails, and there's so many points of interest. So please come out, and maybe we'll see you here sometime.
And be sure to look around because you wouldn't want to miss anything, including this beautiful piece of schist.